Welcome back, GRD 122, to our P4 project. This is a real quick one. It's more of an exercise, just like our other one we did in Canva. And this will be exploring with something called CapCut, something I've used so far for about a day. So we'll see how this goes. So this is our Jiffy ad, and I just created an account with my personal email, and I'm going to create my ad just like you guys are going to do. So hopefully you did all your Jiffy box stuff already, and you did the exercise in Canva. And what I'm going to do first is just bring in some materials. Now, I already saved this here, so I'm going to bring in some material. That's where media is. And we're going to have a timeline down here to work on. And it's only going to be a 5-second video, so it won't be anything really long. We're just going to have box come in, and then headline, subheadline. That's it. So first we'll bring in our background. So just like before, I'll go look for something like a farm image. Farm images. And I'll go to images. And you don't have to use a farm, but I'm just using a farm here. And there's lots of farm images, and I want to keep it fairly light. That's kind of a nice farm image. Just want to make sure that it doesn't have a lot of like watermarks on it and stuff. That's pretty neat. Maybe that'll work. It's only 520. This one isn't very big, but let's try it out. I'll copy image. Now let's see if you can copy image and paste image. I'll go here and paste. It doesn't let you paste. So you can't just copy an image. So what would you have to do? Well, you'd have to go here and do save image as, and then save it down. Now I'm just going to put stuff in downloads for now. So this is called Thoroughbred Horses Grazing Sons, whatever. I'll just save. And hopefully it's as a JPEG. I don't know if it is or not, but let me see if I can bring it in. Anyway, so I'm going to go here, and you could drag it right in. Let's see if this works, because that thing didn't say JPEG at the end. But I'm going to go to my downloads, and there it is. Let's see if I could bring this in. This might not work. No, it's not supported. See, I don't know what this is. Save image as. It's using WebP. I'm not even sure what that is, but I'm going to find something that's a JPEG. So let's see what this is. That has JPEG, so that'll work. So I'll save that one down. Little farm thing, spraying with chemicals. Let me try something else so it's not spraying with chemicals. Let's see what this is. Save image as. All right, farmland sustainable. Let me just go at the end here. See, this won't work. These WebPs, I'm not sure what they are. Here's a farm. See if this works. There it is, JPEG. This will work. So find something that's a JPEG or PNG or something. So I'll say that. This is called To Incorporate Farm Feature. It's in my downloads. So that's the one I'm going to use. All right, back to CapCut, and let's bring it in. You could drag it in, or you could go find it. Yeah, I think you could go look for it locally. So I could look for it locally and just go to my downloads and go to that one and bring it in. And it should upload it to there, and then you should be able to drag it to your timeline. So I'm going to drag it to my timeline. Make sure, move it over, make sure it's at the beginning. Here's my timeline. Let me close this thing up. And I want it at 5 seconds. Actually, any image you bring in will be 5 seconds, so that's a good way to keep our video. So it's not in proportion right now, so I'm just going to make it larger. Now, if you go here and it doesn't get larger, you could just go over here to size and make it larger that way, and then I think you can move it around. So there's, in the web version, there's a little more you'll do over here than on here. Although now I can move it around. I'm not sure why that thing, looks like it's making it smaller, but it's not making it much bigger. But anyway, I can move that around, and you could also adjust positioning here. So if you need to nudge it, you can use this thing to nudge it up and down, nudge up the X and Y over here. So that looks okay, although I'm going to be bringing in my box on top of the farm, but that's okay. I could even make it a little bigger and have the farm be over there. I think that's okay, something like that. So it doesn't let you zoom out, I don't think. I'm not seeing a zoom here. This zooms the timeline, so you can see the timeline bigger or smaller, but in terms of the view area here, it looks like you can't really zoom out. So you're kind of seeing it real-time size, and I guess that's okay. So you can move this thing over. I think this stuff here, this arrow here, I think you can move that over if you want to. But there's my media. You can move it over if you need more room here. So that's my timeline. So far I just have an image on here. Now you could throw music in here. Let's not worry about music yet. Let's throw in our Jiffy box. So let's say you can't find your Jiffy box. I'm going to go here to Figma and just export this out, and I'll put this in downloads. And remember, you could go on here right on the frame and you could go down and add an export. And I don't know if you could change the name. I was going to change the name here, and it just made one right away. That's okay. It just made this thing with a 2 because I already made one. So anyway, it saved this thing here as my JPEG. I'm not sure if you could change the name when you export it because it's just exporting using the frame name. But either way, there it is 2, and it's going to be in my downloads. So that's it. So let me go to my downloads. I'll show you the other way to bring stuff in. There's my downloads, and let me go back to CapCut, and let me go back to my downloads so I see them. And I'll bring in this thing, and that's my Jiffy box. And I'm just going to see if I could drag it in. Well, actually, I don't know if you drag it to the timeline or you drag it into media. I'm guessing you drag it into media. So let me do that again. I'll drag this into media. And there, that's what you'll do. So it doesn't let you drag it right to the timeline. You got to bring it in media first, and that makes sense. If you was the regular installed software, it probably could let you drag it to the timeline. But there's my farm, there's my Jiffy box. Now, drag your Jiffy box down to the timeline. In some programs, I could drag it right onto here. So there's our Jiffy box. Scale it down just a little. Now, we want it to finish size, and I'll make it a little smaller, and I'm having problems scaling it for some reason on here. If you have problems scaling it, just use this thing. Use the slider over here, and if you want to rotate it, there's a rotate thing down here, which that seems to work. For some reason, the first time I scale it was having a problem. But now I'll go back here, I'll rotate just a little bit. Now this is the way it's going to finish up. Okay, so it'll come in and it'll cover up that farm, which is okay. And what I'll put here is new box, and then we'll put same grade product. So let's do that next. I'm not animating anything yet. We're just having it all static right now. So I'm going to bring in text. And now they have all this stuff down here, all this cool stuff. We don't need to do that. We'll just use default. I'll just click on here. Now if you click, it'll add it. So there it is, and it's called default down here. So if you hit plus, it gets added to your timeline. So I'll even move this over here because it's going to come in later. It's not going to be the first thing in, but there it is. It's called default. And notice I don't see it right now. That's because my playhead needs to be where you see it. So there it is. And if you double click in here and you try to change the text, it won't change. You have to go over here and type new look or whatever you're going to do. New look. And then to change the font, you can move it here. I'm going to go change the font. I'm just going to look for something real bold and condensed. So it still can get real big in this area here. Work sans, that's kind of bold and wider, although it doesn't look bad. Let me put it in a... I used the yellow before, but this background's a little lighter. Let me try yellow and see how that looks. It might be too light. Now I'd have to use an outline and a shadow on it, but it kind of matches that down there. I'll see how it looks. I'll try that, and to make it a little bigger, they don't have, what's odd is they don't have point size down here. Wait, oh, they have size here, but it's not really point size. Now, I still think this is too wide, so I'm going to go back up here and choose something else. I'm just going to look for something very condensed sans serif. I think I used Bibis Nua. I know that from the Google fonts. They have some Google fonts in here. I don't know how many they have. They have all kinds of stuff in here. They may even show your system fonts. Here's Helvetica. That looks like Helvetica bold condensed. Now, I think that's from my system. So if you don't have that, you know, look for something else. But here's Barlow condensed. I'll use that. That looks pretty neat. It's nice and condensed. It's really bold. I'll try that, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll scroll down here, look for sizing. And obviously I'll need like a drop shadow. Now it won't squash it, so you have to just keep it regular size. That's why I was looking something condensed. Although they do have, you know, word spacing and line spacing if you need. But I'll do new look here. I'll keep it nice and big. And I'll put a stroke on it. Let's see what they call it. They call it outline. So I'll put just a black outline on it. You could use maybe a dark blue. Wow, that's really big. So I'll change the size of my outline, maybe something like that. That doesn't look bad. It's picking up a little blue. I could even use the blue, maybe even a little lighter. Use the blue from the Jiffy somewhat, as close as I can get. That's not too bad. And then I could put a drop shadow on. How do I do that? I scroll down. They have drop shadow down here. I'll use black for my shadow. And then they have some options down here. Blur, distance, opacity. That makes sense. Blur's okay. Distance probably is, I'll go back a little bit and I'll take down the opacity. I don't need it so strong, especially with a dark outline. You don't need that really strong. Just create a little bit of depth. Let me click off of it. That looks okay. New look. And I'll just kind of move it in here. New look. And then we'll do something called same great product. So again, what might be easier, instead of retyping all that stuff again, I'm going to take this and copy it. I'm going to go down here and just do Command C, Command V, and you could do Control C, Control V. Click on that, Control C, Control V, and it'll paste it on a new layer, and it's right on top, so I'll move it down. Now this one I'll call same great. I'll keep it all caps, so I'm just typing in all caps. Same great, and then we'll do product. But same great, we'll make it the same length here, so I'll scroll down and use sizing and make it a little bit smaller. Try to keep it around the same width. So I'll put it right there, go a little smaller. That's okay. And maybe I'll make it red with white outline on it. And I'll keep the shadow. See, now it keeps the shadow and stuff. So I'll go down to outline and I'll change it to white. And I'll go to fill. Where's my fill? Here's my fill up here, color. And I'll go to red. And that looks okay. That's not too bad. It's really pretty powerful. I don't see where you can change the color other than these. They have a lot of colors here, and I don't know if it's pulling these from my layout or not. I don't know if they give you, you think you can mix up your own colors, but maybe not unless you go in here. I'm not seeing a place to mix up colors, so I'm just finding something in here, and maybe it's doing that on purpose, trying to pull that in here. So I have same great, and I'll move it down a little, and then I'll copy this again. I'll do Command C, Command V, and it copied same great. Now I want these all to end in the same place, and then they'll just start at different places. So here's the newest same great. I'll move it down here. Now this is going to be product, and I'm double clicking on it trying to highlight it, but it won't work because I have to go over here. So I'll highlight this and I'll do product. And can I scale it? Yeah, I could scale it here. Again, it's a free product. It's a free piece of software on the web. But I like it better than Canva, I have to be honest. As far as doing this, doing video kind of stuff. So I'll move this down a little. So I'm getting everything set up. Now, if you need to nudge it, it doesn't seem to nudge with your keyboard. So if you need to nudge it, just go to the Y thing here and go up, and then you could kind of nudge it up. And then this thing, if you need to nudge it down, go to your Y and nudge it down. And I think, actually, looking at this, I want to go a little bit darker with my outline. It's weird not being able to mix up your own color. Again, unless I'm missing something here, which again, I'll figure out. But I'll do that for now. So everything's kind of set up, and it's a 5-second video. So if I hit play, it looks like that. So we're going to have new look come in first, and then same great, and then product. So you could just kind of shorten these down here. New look will come in. Now, how do you want new look to come in? Well, actually, let's just have these get timed first. So same great will be a little later, and then product will be a little after that. So it'll be kind of like this. Ready? New look, same great product, like that. Now that's animated just like that. I mean, that's animation, but we want to have the box come in, then new look, then same great product. Let's have the box come in. So we're going to go here, click on the box, and go to animation. And you could fade in, you can spin left, spin right. Let's try spin right, see if that works. That's all right, just spin right. That's not crazy. Spin right, comes in, new look. Okay, now new look, what do you want to have happen? New look, all kinds of things here. Flip up, maybe zoom in. Let me see that. Zoom in. I like that. Zoom in, and then same great. I'll just have those fade in. So same great will fade in, and then product will fade in. So again, I'm on same great, and I'll go to animation, and I'll look for fade in. And here's fade in. It took me forever to find it, but here it is. So I'll fade in that one, and notice it's just on the in. On the out we'll have nothing, and then I'll go to product, and hopefully I could find fade in again. There's fade in, and I'll fade in. So this one is getting a zoom in, I think. If I scroll down here, it should be highlighted somewhere. There it is. It's doing a zoom in and then a fade in, fade in. This one's doing that kind of rotate in thing. and they're all ending at the same place. So let's try it out. There it comes. New look, same great product. That's it. Now you could adjust the length of how long they take, animation duration. I think if I go here and I want this taking longer, I think it's going 0.5. If I want it to be a second, that's fine. It's kind of coming in. It's not doing a whole lot here. Wait, did that still rotate? That just slid in. I'm not sure what happened to that unless I changed it. Let's see. It was roll right. It's not rolling for some reason. Unless when you change the duration, it doesn't roll. Let's try this one. Oh, wow. Look at that. Then I'll put that. I think it started at 0.5. Let me try that. And I'll hit play. Whoa. That's really crazy. That's all right. I'll try that one. There's zoom in, which is cool because then you see the farm kind of. Whatever. Whatever you want to mess around with here. I'll throw rotate back on. Ready? So we rotate. New look, same grade product. And it'd be nice if I could put my voice over there, which I could record somewhere else. But if not, they have music. Now, let me just mention some music here. And I turned off my system audio. But if you go to music here, you can look for stuff over here. And I think I just look for country. I just look for some country, kind of, you know, country sound to go with this, something calm. And they have a lot of like kind of pop kind of stuff. I forget what I used. I think I used this country instrumental, I think is what I used. And again, I don't have the audio on right now, but let me just mention, this one starts with a little banjo in the beginning, and I think if you just add it, it gets added down here. Now, it may be really long. Now, I just want to point this out. If it's really long, and you're like, well, where the hell's the end of this? You can shorten this zoom down here and just go real short and take this thing and just shorten this thing way down. And then make this bigger again so you can see more of it. And then just keep shortening it down so it's like 5 seconds. Now, you can cut off stuff. You can go here and cut off from the front. So you could go down here and cut off stuff. So if you wanted to change different from the beginning, I'm not going to go over the audio stuff right now, but you can kind of crop it from the beginning and just have a middle part if you want, whatever you want. So if you find a part where you're like, oh, I like where it starts right here. Let me just listen to this again. I know you can't hear this because I turned off my system audio. So on mine, it kind of starts with some like more upbeat guitar right here. So I could crop the top and move it and then bring it here and then kind of extend it out so that it's 5 seconds, but it starts where I want it to. And then you can do a fade in, fade out. So you could just go here and make it fade in at 1 second and then fade out at 1 second. So it just doesn't end abruptly. And sometimes the end you might even do a little longer, like 1.5. And you can't hear it, but it's the same one as the other one I played, but I'm going to listen to it. And you could even turn it down. If it's too annoying, you could turn it down and make it kind of a quiet, more of a quiet kind of sound, just very light in the background. But that's it. That's all you have to do. Just something. Box, animate, text, text, animate. That's it. Background. Use your Jiffy thing. Save it. And now when you're done, what you can do is you can export it. Now you don't have to save because I think it's saved. It's saying 13:59 and it's 1:59 on my clock here, so that's up to date, so it's saved. And remember, if you ever have to go back, just hit this arrow here. But I'm going to export it, and it's saving it in 720, which is fine for what we're doing. You don't have to necessarily do 1080. Recommended on TikTok. 720 is fine. It's like a YouTube kind of standard. So there's my file name, and I think it'll put .mp4 at the end, and I think you just go export. Now this does not have a share feature where you could share your interface with me, other than give me your username and password and then I'll log in or something and check it out. But there's all kinds of cool stuff, all kinds of cool effects in here, all kinds of things, stock videos, stock photos, all kinds of stuff, stickers. Lots of cool stuff in here for free, but you know, we're just doing this. So I'm going to export this, and it's going through the export. It's only 5 seconds, so it should not take very long. And there it is. Now it says you're not going to upload it to TikTok or anything like that. There it is, and they don't have a share thing in here. So all you can do is pretty much just download it, because I don't want to see it in TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but just download it. So it exports it first, then it downloads it, and now that's going to be in my downloads. And to turn it in, I'll show you what to do to turn it in. I'm going to go to my downloads, And this is it, I think. Is that the one? Yeah, that's it. This is the one. It looks like it right there. And because it has that farm with kind of the yellow on the bottom. There's my MP4, and I could just right click on it and do compress. Now if you're on Windows, I have instructions. I think you do send to, and then you compress as a zip folder, and it'll put zip on the end. But I'm just going to compress it, and there it is. And this is what I'll turn in. So then I'll go back to here. I'll stay logged in, and I'll go to Unit 8, and there it is. And I'll go in here, and I'll go to Add Comment. And remember, this is a file. A zip is a file, so you're going to go over here to the file, not an image, not a link. You're going to go to the file and upload and go find that zip file, not the MP4. Now it has .mp4.zip. I want the zip, so make sure you upload the zip. MP4 will not get uploaded through my warrant, so you have to use the .zip, and I'll do that. And because it is audio and video, it's a little bigger, although it's only 5 seconds, so it shouldn't take long. And then I'll insert, and there it is. Now you don't have to open it in a new window, because to see it, I would just download it. So just leave it like that. That's it. That's all you have to do for P4. So I'll have some kind of quiz and discussion on this kind of stuff in here, and hopefully I'll do another video with this. It'd be nice to do something else with this other than just this quick thing. Last year we did a Shamrock race promo in Camtasia when we were in the lab, but I'm not sure what we can do in here, but I could give you some stuff that you can mess around with, and maybe we'll do something like that after you do this. But do this first for Unit 8, and then remember we have spring break the following week, so you'll have some extra time to work on stuff. So I may have something else for you, because this won't take that long. So anyway, when you're done in here, this thing is ready. Let's see how you get out of here. I guess you just click off of it. I'm not sure what it does here to get off of it. Oh, I guess that thing. That thing gets out of here. And then you could just go back here. This goes back if you ever have to stop and go work on it again. Here's the file that I was working on. So here's my clip down here. If you need to open it again to edit it, there it is. If you had to make changes, anything like that. But it's kind of a cool web-based editing software. I like it better than WeVideo, because for one thing, it doesn't put a WeVideo watermark on it. It doesn't take forever to process it. Exporting didn't take that long. And it has a pretty decent timeline here, and it's not that hard to use. And has a lot of cool effects, transitions, all kinds of stuff. So I might use this in my 103 class in the future. But for now, that's all you got to do. Just do something like that, and you're good. Export it, and then download it as an MP4, and then zip it, and then upload it back to my warrant. So that's P4 Jiffy ad, doing a little YouTube kind of ad here. You throw a little music in it. If you want to try doing a voiceover, you can do that. You just have to import it in. If you want to record yourself saying, "New look, same great product," you can do that too. So anyway, that's our Jiffy ad using CapCut, which this is my second day of using CapCut, and I like it.